Another thing I can talk about is this Bandcamp stuff with music. I am not happy, and a lot of other musicians are not happy. Bandcamp is trying to completely remove PayPal and implement Stripe, which is only supported in like 52 or 54 countries. There's 192 countries. PayPal supports almost all of them besides a few, to include like North Korea and stuff. Not a smart move by Songtraitor, which is the parent venture capital holding group that owns Bandcamp now after they bought it from Epic Games after like 3 months of ownership on Epic's part a couple of years back. Songtraitor is going to bury Bandcamp. It's gonna destroy it. I'm very mad about it. I use PayPal for all kinds of stuff. I've had PayPal since like 2009. Like, I'm not switching. I already micromanage enough. I'm not going to add another payment platform that's sketchy as hell, has consistent UI issues from all the people I've talked to that have had to deal with it. And it's a foreign banking entity. They have an office in San Francisco, but they're based in the UK, in Ireland. But they ask for like all kinds of additional personal information that you don't even need to open a normal bank account, let alone PayPal. And it's like, no, fuck that. So Bandcamp is unfortunately on the chopping block for all of my music projects. If they continue to move forward with this, and I mean, there's been thousands and thousands of artists that have just bombarded Bandcamp with complaints saying, don't do this. If Bandcamp decides to go forward with this, easily 1/3 to almost half of the entire user base on Bandcamp is going to leave. That's a lot of revenue loss, not just for the artists, but for Bandcamp. And the other problem with Stripe, well, I mentioned that. Yeah, Stripe doesn't support like over half of all the countries in the world. Bandcamp supports way more, and there's a lot of people that use PayPal, that are really pissed and they're worried because they're not going to get paid. And they were kind of saying the same thing to me because I emailed support as well, and I was like, "What are you guys doing? Why are you doing this? What happens if I don't get Stripe?" And they're like, "Well, then you just can't set anything for a price for purchase, or if it's at if it's already got a set price on it, we just can't send you the funds." I'm like, "So you're gonna steal my money from me, basically? You know, that's theft. Like, you guys are asking for a fucking lawsuit, like big lawsuit, you know, so that's not cool." Stripe sucks. I'm not getting Stripe. So fuck Bandcamp and fuck Stripe. The alternative platform I'm looking at is called Ampwall, like amplifier, amp wall. Founded and owned by a guy named Chris Grigg, who's very involved in the metal scene and stuff. I listened to some of his projects. I talked to him personally the other day in email, asking some questions about Ampwall because I'd only first heard about it like 2 months ago. It's very much like Bandcamp, but better in some ways, especially with the user interface and things like that. With Bandcamp, for each music project, you have to have a separate login for that, and then you can link them all together. With Ampwall, you just have one user login, and then you start artist pages. So it's all under one thing already. For fans, buyers, listeners on Ampwall, it's free. For bands, there is a subscription. For every 5 hours of music uploaded, it's $10 a year. So I think that's pretty manageable. That's less than DistroKid for having one band at 20, I think it's $22 or $25 a year, distributed Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all that, Deezer, all that stuff. So even better than a professional direct deposit payment, no middleman payment system, media rights management organization for musicians to get their music on various platforms. The price is even better than that. So I was talking to Bukovac Foster, and because he and I are in the band Pythonism together. Everyone go check it out. Lovecraftian themed psychedelic funeral doom metal. If you like really crushing, heavy, slow stuff, check it out. And then Bryce, my other half from Eldarion, which new album, 2 versions just dropped the other day. I've got both albums up on my YouTube channel, but they're on Bandcamp and all the other streaming platforms, Spotify and all that. That's the one band I have going through DistroKid right now is Eldarion. So go check that out too. Yeah, so I was talking to them, and I think I'm going to migrate at least some of the projects to keep under that time frame, bracket of allowable upload before your subscription amount would increase. I'm going to migrate projects over there. I think I'm going to migrate Pythonism, Eldarion, and probably Odious Emesis of projects that I'm involved with or that I handle directly. I'll probably migrate over there right away when I do pick it up. I don't handle any of the Decoherence accounts. That's all handled by Stroda over in the UK. I haven't heard from him about what he's going to do. But I know most of Europe uses and prefers PayPal as well. I mean, everybody's used PayPal on Bandcamp. I've been on Bandcamp since 2011, and they're doing this shit now. Like, I don't want to leave the platform, but I'm not going to pick up fucking Stripe just to have to deal with a crappier payment system that I don't want in the first place to have to micromanage and switch all of the band accounts that I manage on Bandcamp over to that. Fuck that, PayPal is easy. And I've used it for a long time. I've never had an issue with PayPal. Other people have. Okay, fine, whatever. I've never had a problem. So, yeah, it pisses me off to no end. Kind of in that whole circle tangent here about Bandcamp and how bad they're fucking up right now. Yeah. Nobody said anything in a few minutes. I guess they're listening to me rant. Sorry, it's been pissing me off. It's been having me really on edge the last couple of days, ever since I got the email notification that they were doing that. And then I immediately reach out to them and be like, don't do that. I'm not getting Stripe. You withhold my money from me, we're going to have problems. You don't fuck with my money. Especially for how much work Bukovac, Foster, and I have put into Pythonism, or the work Bryce and I have put into Eldarion, or that I've put into Odious Emesis, or the Anointing Maelstrom, or doing vocals for Decoherence, or other projects and up-and-coming projects like Aposticum, my solo world music Nordic tribal folk project, Bonnie. I've put so much work, and I have so much material on that platform, and then they're going to play these fuck games. Like, it's a problem. It's not good. So, Bandcamp for the longest time has been the best platform for supporting independent artists and underground music. With this ownership change, just like whenever any venture capital group gets a hold of something, like with restaurants, I don't know if anyone watches the Bright Sun Films channel about the Bankrupt series, about all these restaurant chains and everything else, that venture capital group gets a hold of it and then runs everything into the ground. That's what's happening with Bandcamp now. So that's my last piece on that. Fuck you, Bandcamp. Undo the dumbassery. Otherwise, you're going to lose easily half of your user base. So that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. There are some more questions and topics and stuff out, Keep throwing it out. I started an hour late, so we're about 48 minutes in right now. So I'll go for another hour. So we'll go till 2000 Central Time. 8 p.m. for you silly non-24 hour folk. Dangerous Freedoms. They bring in the kids with business degrees that have never built anything, and they get bright idea of doing the opposite of what made the company great. Yeah, that's part of it. But the venture capital people, I mean, it's a bunch of executives that the good idea fairy is surgically attached to their shoulder, and everything they touch burns to the ground. You know, whether it's quickly or over time. Yeah, but that's part of it too. It actually happened. So Epic Games, after buying Bandcamp, held it for like 2 months maybe, and then sold it to Songtraitor, Songtradr, Songtraitor, as many of us like to call them. Sold it right to them because of like union busting and stuff. Because the Bandcamp employees had unionized. I'm not a fan of unions, but whatever. Do your thing. This is a right to work state. I don't give a shit. But Songtraitor bought them and did a bunch of union busting stuff. Fired half the staff at Bandcamp, and brought on people like Dangerous Freedoms mentioned. Apart from, again, the high level piss poor decision making that's going on. So I just the platform is getting ruined. So gonna have to find something better. All those links on the about section of my YouTube channel, they're gonna have to change. I'm gonna end up deleting some of them, and they're just gonna have to change because I'm gonna have to go to another platform. And Ampwall is looking like the best option for that right now.